So further we are discussing our topic, that is because we have left in the previous video on advertising, also known as the hidden revenue model. तो advertising से भी hidden revenue आता है, ये तो हमें पता है. The organization seeks to attract. Organization क्या चाहती है? वो attract करना चाहती है users को, so that they may be represented with advertising messages. जो organization है वो हमेशा क्या चाहती है? वो seeks to attract users. वो और ज़्यादा users को attract करना चाहती है. And they must be presented with advertising messages. और वो present करना चाहती है with advertising messages के साथ. Users do not पे फॉर प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस मोर कॉमनली दे रिसीव. यूजर्स जो है वो सिर्फ वो ही नहीं पे कर रहे होते जो प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस वो कॉमनली रिसीव कर रहे हैं, रादर देन एडवर्टाइजर पे द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फॉर एक्सेस टू इट्स ऑडियंस. बट जो एडवर्टाइजर है वो हमसे उसका वो भी चार्ज कर लेता है, पे द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फॉर एक्सेस टू इट्स ऑडियंस, कि कैसे जो एडवर्टाइजर एडवर्टाइज कर रहा है प्रोडक्ट को सर्विस को कस्टमर को, तो जो एडवर्टाइजर है हमसे वो भी चार्ज कर लेता है. Companies do not have to ask a user to pay for their product or services. Companies do not have to ask. Companies को पूछना नहीं पड़ता है users to pay for their product or services. Therefore, the customer base is large, wide reach, and secondly, quality is not a major concern in the absence of enforcing power with the customer because they did not pay any consideration. Now comes the illustration. Most search engines are free to use for everyone. हम क्या बोलते हैं कि बहुत सारे जो गॉड बहुत सारे जो सर्च इंजन है दे आर फ्री टू यूज फॉर एवरीवन. मोस्ट सर्च इंजन्स आर फ्री टू यूज फॉर एवरीवन, बट दिस मेक द मोस्ट मनी फ्रॉम एड्स. That is, it charges businesses to reach the target audience. Businesses have to pay for the ads they put up on the platform. Cross subsidization, also known as the Razor-Blad business model. हम क्या बोलते हैं कि जो क्रॉस सब्सिडाइजेशन है उसे हम और क्या बोलते हैं, दैट द सेम इज आल्सो नोन एज द रेजर ब्लेड बिजनेस मॉडल. व्हाई वी called it as a cross subsidization, also known as the razor blade business model, because an organization provides a free or very low cost product or service to customers. एक organization जो है provide करती है free और बहुत ही कम low cost में product or service to customer in order to drive high margin sales of a complementary product. Since a product is sold at a much lower price to make the consumer buy higher price items later. सबसे पहले क्या करते हैं, प्रोडक्ट सोल्ड किया जाता है बहुत लोअर प्राइस पे टू मेक द कंज्यूमर बाय हायर प्राइस आइटम्स लेटर. इट इज रेजर ब्लेड. इट इज वन ऑफ द ट्राइड एंड ट्रू मेथड्स ऑफ एक्वायरिंग कस्टमर्स फॉर हाई प्राइस प्रोडक्ट्स. Company earn high revenue on a consistent basis as more and more customer become loyal. कंपनी जो है वो अर्न करती है हाई रेवेन्यू ऑन अ कंसिस्टेंट बेसिस पे एज मोर एंड मोर कस्टमर, बिकॉज बहुत सारे कस्टमर एज अ मोर एंड मोर कस्टमर्स बिकम लॉयल होते जाते हैं. उसके बाद आता है हमारा prevailing in the case of consumer goods in addition to IT and IT's industry. It is a pricing business strategy that is also known as the bat and hook model. Printers are sold cheaply to build demand for high margin printer cartridges. Printers जो है वो बहुत ही सस्ते में बेचा जाता है to build demand for high margin. जो प्रिंटर के जो cartridges आते हैं ना उसको हाई डिमांड, उसमें बहुत ज्यादा हाई मार्जिन होता है, हाई मार्जिन प्रिंटर cartridges. Open source, also known as a free access or gift model. Open source को ही क्या कहा जाता है, is also known as referred to as a free access or gift model. When a product or service is provided for free, the seller or provider either derives satisfaction or some other benefits. एक काम करती हूँ मैं, I should see it. I think so. Wait for a while. Now hereby we are continuing the things that is relating to the open source, also referred to as a free access or gift model. हम क्या बोल रहे हैं कि जो ओपन सोर्स को ही क्या कहा जाता है, that the same is to be called as free access or gift model. When a product or service is provided for free, जब कभी भी एक प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस को फ्री प्रोवाइड किया जाएगा तो द सेलर और प्रोवाइडर either derives satisfaction or some other benefit, but the buyer or user has nothing to pay. The difference between this model and the hidden revenue model is that जो दोनों का डिफरेंस है किसमें, दिस मॉडल जैसे कि ओपन सोर्स और free access or gift model and the hidden revenue model support is that support and other services are not provided under the open source model. There is no incremental service cost for each aided user, even if there is a little or no customer acquisition cost involved. Hence, the product or service is free for anyone to use. It becomes easier to create a community of users who can improve on the technology. Knowledge management, tech and software company use this model. इस मॉडल को कौन यूज करता है, इस मॉडल को नॉलेज मैनेजमेंट टेक एंड सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनीज इस मॉडल को यूज करती है. तो व्हाट इज द ओपन सोर्स आल्सो रेफर टू एज द फ्री एक्सेस और गिफ्ट मॉडल. व्हेन अ प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस इज प्रोवाइडेड फॉर फ्री, जब कभी भी एक प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस को फ्री प्रोवाइड किया जाता है तो सेलर और प्रोवाइडर आइदर डिराइव सेटिस्फेक्शन और सम अदर बेनिफिट्स. तो जो सेलर है और जो इस प्रोडक्ट को प्रोवाइड कर रहा है दे आइदर डिराइव सेटिस्फेक्शन और सम अदर बेनिफिट, तो वो डिराइव कर लेते हैं सेटिस्फेक्शन या फिर कोई दूसरे बेनिफिट्स, बट द बायर और यूजर हैज नथिंग टू पे. बट जो बायर है उन्हें कुछ भी पे नहीं करना है. जो डिफरेंस है इस मॉडल में और हिडन रेवेन्यू मॉडल में, दैट इज it is that support and other services are not provided under the open source model. There is a no incremental service cost for each added user. कोई incremental cost नहीं है, जितने भी यूजर बढ़ रहे हैं उनके लिए कोई incremental cost नहीं, even if there is a little or no customer acquisition cost involved. कोई भी customer acquisition cost involved नहीं है यहाँ पे. the product or services free है, जो भी इसे यूज कर रहा है it become easier हो जाता है communicate ऑफ यूजर्स जो कि वो इम्प्रूव करते टेक्नोलॉजी. इसको हमने किससे कंपेयर किया है, इसको हमने कंपेयर किया है विद द हिडन रेवेन्यू मॉडल. तो जस्ट हैव अ ग्लैंस वंस अगेन ऑन द हिडन रेवेन्यू मॉडल. तो हमने हिडन रेवेन्यू मॉडल में क्या पढ़ा था, क्रॉस सब्सिडाइजेशन हिडन रेवेन्यू फर्स्ट वाला था. उसमें हमने पढ़ा था कि कस्टमर से एडवर्टीजमेंट का पैसा भी चार्ज किया जाता है, बस वही था उसमें. उसके बाद हम पढ़ते हैं द इलस्ट्रेशन. Wikipedia is an example of open source services as a free encyclopedia. Wikipedia एक example है open source services as a free encyclopedia. OpenOffice from Apache can either be the another example. उसके बाद promotion आता है. A low cost product or service is provided in exchange for the purchase of another product or service. एक low cost product or service provide की जा सकती है in exchange for the purchase of another product or service. हम क्या बोलते हैं कि एक लो कॉस्ट प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस को प्रोवाइड किया जा सकता है. एक लो कॉस्ट प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस को प्रोवाइड किया जा सकता है इन एक्सचेंज फॉर द परचेस ऑफ अनदर प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस. सुपरमार्केट्स ऑफर करता है फ्री गिफ्ट जब कस्टमर स्पेंड करते हैं थ्रेशोल्ड अमाउंट. फ्री एयर वाटर टॉयलेट फैसिलिटी एट पेट्रोल पंप्स कैन अनदर एग्जांपल. तो फ्री एयर वाटर, यू कैन यूज एयर वाटर toilet facilities at petrol pump can another example. Of course it is the in a free form, it is not paid. Some of sweet shops and gift center offer karte free packaging, waiting in a lounge at a station or airport. You have noticed that if you are the passenger of sleepers or the AC class, so you can easily wait at these stations or airport on a in a waiting hall or in a waiting room, and they will not charge you anything for the time you are there. You just need a ticket. So these are the example of मतलब प्रमोशन में क्या लो कॉस्ट प्रोडक्ट और सर्विसेज प्रोवाइडेड इन एक्सचेंज फॉर द परचेज ऑफ अनदर. मतलब एक कुछ कॉस्ट मतलब आपको कुछ लो कॉस्ट प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस प्रोवाइड की जा रही है इन मतलब in exchange of you have purchased something. जैसे कि the perfect example is at a station, at airports, you मतलब it means that they are providing you some low cost product or service in exchange of what you have purchased. You have purchased the Indian railway ticket or airport का I have no much idea, but trains are most commonly used, so everybody has idea about the same. उसके बाद सुपर मार्केट ऑफर करता है ये, और पेट्रोल पंप आपको लो कॉस्ट लो कॉस्ट सर्विस कैसे प्रोवाइड कर रहा है, वी कैन गेट द सेम, you can drink water as well from there, they will not charge you anything from the water cooler and all. उसके बाद मैनेज आता है हमारा द सब्सक्रिप्शन मॉडल, देन कम्स द सब्सक्रिप्शन मॉडल. इन दिस बिजनेस मॉडल अ कंपनी टेक्स अ सर्विस और प्रोडक्ट दैट कंज्यूमर कुड हैव easily access in the past and locks it in. As a result, the only way for the consumer to gain access to the service is to pay a subscription fee. You every time you need to pay a subscription fee, that is a subscription model. Some of the products are sold on a monthly basis, generating recurring and sustainable revenue for the company. Just like a newspaper magazine pioneer the model, which is now used by other business such as OTT platform. This is 70% of business leaders believe the subscription model will improve commercial growth को improve करता है. According to the global banking and finance review, it offers a steady revenue model. According to SEI, subscription business grow करता है 5 to 8 times faster than the traditional one से. Okay, so this one is a subscription model. Then come आता है the freemium model. What is the freemium model? क्या होता है? By offering digital sampling, this business model will disrupt. By offering a digital sampling ऑफर करते हैं, जिसकी वजह से क्या होता है, दिस मॉडल विल डिसरप्ट. यूजर विल पे फॉर द बेसिक सर्विसेज, यूजर्स को पे करना पड़ेगा फॉर द बेसिक सर्विसेज विद देयर डेटा, बेसिस इंफॉर्मेशन एंड कस्टमर प्रोफाइल रादर देन मनी. द कंपनी विल देन चार्ज देम a free to upgrade to a more comprehensive offer. To gain access to additional features or an upgraded version, users must pay a set fee to the company. This model will only work for product where the marginal cost of additional unit and distribution is less than the cost of selling personal data. This model disrupt करता है businesses that could formerly charge for even the basic service. तो हम क्या बोलते हैं that what is the freemium model? हम क्या बोलते हैं that what is basically the freemium model किसे कहा जाता है? by offering digital sampling. ये क्या ऑफर करते हैं? ये ऑफर करते हैं डिजिटल सैम्पलिंग. दिस मॉडल विल डिसरप्ट. ये मॉडल क्या हो जाएगा? डिसरप्ट. यूजर विल पे फॉर द बेसिक सर्विस विद देयर डेटाबेसेस इंफॉर्मेशन एंड कस्टमर प्रोफाइल रादर देन मनी. तो फॉर एग्जांपल, इसका एग्जांपल से पढ़ते, सो दैट वी हैव पीपल, वी ऑल स्टूडेंट्स शुड have the more clarity for the same. This business model has been successfully implemented किया जा रहा है by professional community platform और online utility service provider, especially the platform the software as a service. ये lower करता है cost, acquisition cost. Customer are not compelled to try out the freemium product and it use it with limited features for long as they want. तो मतलब जो SaaS है, that is the software as a service, किसमें आता है? the under the covers under the freemium model. Freemium जो software as a service है, that comes cover under the freemium model. It aids many businesses in understanding consumer behavior, therefore ये assist करता है businesses को in generating the long term revenue, जनरेट करने में लॉन्ग टर्म रेवेन्यू. तो व्हाट इज द फ्रीमियम मॉडल? बाय ऑफरिंग डिजिटल सैम्पलिंग. ये क्या ऑफर करता है? ये डिजिटल सैम्पलिंग ऑफर करता है. दिस बिजनेस मॉडल विल डिस्टर्ब. यूजर विल पे फॉर द बेसिक सर्विस विद देयर डेटा बेसिस इंफॉर्मेशन और कस्टमर. यूजर को पे करना होता है बेसिक सर्विसेज के लिए विद देयर डेटा, अपना डेटा भी देना होता है. डेटा मतलब जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन रिक्वायर्ड होती होगी वो देना पड़ता होगा. बेसिस इंफॉर्मेशन और कस्टमर प्रोफाइल रादर देन मनी. द कंपनी विल देन चार्ज देम अ फी टू अपग्रेड टू अ मोर कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव ऑफर. टू गेन एक्सेस टू एडिशनल फीचर और एन अपग्रेडेड वर्जन, यूजर मस्ट pay a set fee to the company. This model will work only for product where the marginal cost of additional unit and distribution is less than the cost of selling personal data. This model disrupt business that could formerly charge for even the basic service. फ्री बिजनेस मॉडल में कन्वर्ट इनटू फ्रीमियम. फ्री बिजनेस मॉडल कन्वर्ट हो सकता है फ्रीमियम में. अभी हम बेसिकली क्या पढ़ रहे थे? हम पढ़ रहे थे फ्रीमियम मॉडल, जिसमें क्या आता है कि आपको बेसिक डेटा देना पड़ेगा, बेसिक सर्विस विद देयर डेटा, जैसे कि सॉफ्टवेयर एज अ सर्विस. फ्री बिजनेस मॉडल में कन्वर्ट into freemium and then into subscription based model. Free model can be used for any type of product, whereas premium and subscription model are most prominently used for services that are rendered only using some app or digital platform. The digital platform model, that is the e-commerce model. What is the digital platform model? E-commerce model किसे कहा जाता है? A company that follow this model will provide digital marketplace where both buyers and sellers, हम क्या बोलते हैं व्हाट इज द डिजिटल what will be the digital platform model e-commerce model digital platform model e-commerce model किसे कहा जाता है एक कंपनी जो कि फॉलो करती है इस मॉडल को वो प्रोवाइड करेगी डिजिटल मार्केट प्लेस वेयर बहुत दोनों बायर्स एंड सेलर ऑफ अ गिवन आइटम कैन बी ट्रांजैक्ट दिस हैज प्रोवाइडेड बहुत फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी एंड कन्वीनियंस तो हम क्या बोलते हैं दैट व्हाट इज द डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म मॉडल what will be the digital platform model e-commerce model किसे हम बोलेंगे डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म मॉडल ई कॉमर्स मॉडल किसे बोला जाएगा अ कंपनी जो कि फॉलो करती है इस मॉडल को विल प्रोवाइड करेगी डिजिटल मार्केट प्लेस पर बहुत बायर्स एंड सेलर्स ऑफ अ गिवन आइटम कैन ट्रांजैक्ट हम क्या बोलेंगे कंपनी जो कि फॉलो करती है इस मॉडल को पर्टिकुलर मॉडल को एक कंपनी जो कि फॉलो करती है इस मॉडल को वो प्रोवाइड करेगी डिजिटल मार्केट प्लेस जहाँ बहुत बायर्स और सेलर्स जो है ऑफ अ गिवन आइटम कैन ट्रांजैक्ट कर सकते हैं This is provided both flexibility and convenience. In exchange for any transaction, the buyer and seller in the business receive a fee or commission. The commission is calculated as a percentage of the buyer's purchase price. Among various subcategories of e-commerce model, the major ones are. So this is a digital platform model, or we can say the e-commerce model. जो कंपनी जो फॉलो करती है इस मॉडल को वो प्रोवाइड करेगी डिजिटल मार्केट प्लेस जहाँ पे दोनों बायर्स और सेलर्स जो होंगे ऑफ अ गिवन आइटम को ट्रांजैक्ट कर सकते हैं दिस हैज प्रोवाइडेड बहुत ही फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी एंड कन्वीनियंस दिया गया है इन एक्सचेंज फॉर एनी ट्रांजैक्शन जो बायर और सेलर है इन द बिजनेस वो रिसीव करेंगे फी कमीशन कैलकुलेट होगा एज अ परसेंटेज ऑफ बायर्स परचेज प्राइस among various subcategories of e-commerce model the major ones are this ones उसके बाद आता है हमारा बिजनेस टू बिजनेस दैट इज द B2B बिजनेस टू बिजनेस B2B e-commerce involve transaction between the manufacturer and wholesaler or a wholesaler and a retailer through an online sales portal. So B2B है e-commerce is one of the fastest growing models. So business to business है जो B2B model है is one of the fastest growing sales model है तो what is B2B हमने 11th क्लास में भी पढ़ा था we have read the same in 11th standard as well तो बिजनेस टू बिजनेस B2B मॉडल क्या होता है ई कॉमर्स इन्वॉल्व इसमें ट्रांजेक्शन होते हैं एक बिजनेस करेस्पॉन्डेंट दूसरे बिजनेस करेस्पॉन्डेंट से मतलब ट्रांजेक्शन कर रहा है मैन्युफैक्चरर एंड होलसेलर एंड रिटेलर इफ यू हैव बिजनेस इफ योर फादर हैव अ बिजनेस सो दे आर matlab manufacturer are purchasing from the wholesaler if your father is retailer then the same they are purchasing from the wholesaler and through an online sales portal B2B commerce is one of the fastest growing sales model then to illustrate India Mart Trade India Alibaba etc these are the B2B transactions or India Mart Indian Mart Trade India Alibaba etc some estimate value the global B2B e-commerce market at over $12 trillion, taking up 13% of total B2B sales in the US. Now comes the business to कस्टमर B2C मतलब हमारा केस और हम परचेज करें फर्दर मार्केट से तो हम तो कंज्यूमर है हम परचेज करें सिंपली तो इट इज बीन हम फर्दर सेल नहीं करें वी आर spending the money for our consumption or buying the goods and service for our consumption so business to customer B2C e-commerce also called the retail e-commerce is a business model that involves sales between online business and consumers to illustrate Flipkart Zomato Amazon and etc then the C2C कंज्यूमर ही कंज्यूमर को बेच रहा है कस्टमर ही कस्टमर को बेच रहा है दैट इज दी C2C B2C में क्या आएगा कि रिटेल इज अ बिजनेस दैट इन्वॉल्व जैसे कि फ्लिपकार्ट अमेजोन हमें सारा प्रोडक्ट सर्विस बेच रहा है कस्टमर टू कस्टमर जैसे कि OLX पे बेच दो क्विकर पे बेच दो सेकंड हैंड आइटम्स जहाँ पे सोल्ड आउट होते हैं तो इसमें क्या होता है कि कस्टमर टू कस्टमर दैट इज ये प्लेटफॉर्म है OLX और क्विकर C2C e-commerce is a business model that fosters commerce between private and end user then हमारा आता है that is the customer to business C2B is a type of e-commerce where a customer or end user offers something to an organization C2B business focus करता है on generating value from their customer base by crowdsourcing ideas soliciting feedbacks and more so what is the customer to business C2B क्या होता है what will be the customer to business C2B is a type of e-commerce where consumer or end user offers something to an organization so C2B होता है what is C2B C2B is the customer to business is a type of e-commerce ये एक e-commerce का type है जहाँ consumer और end user जो है वो ऑफर करेंगे समथिंग टू एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन C2B बिजनेस फोकस करता है मतलब एक कस्टमर बिजनेसमैन को बेच रहे हैं. C2B बिजनेस फोकस करता है ऑन जनरेटिंग वैल्यू फ्रॉम देयर कस्टमर बेस बाय क्राउड सोर्सिंग आइडियाज, soliciting feedback and more. Then comes the hyper market model. What does this hyper market model suggest to us that we are discussing in this video as well? On the what is the hyper market model? What is basically the hyper market model? Hyper market model क्या होता है is there is no better way to disrupt than to provide there is no better way to disrupt than to provide a product or service at a lower cost price. हाइपर मार्केट मॉडल ये बोलता है कि कोई भी बेहतर तरीका नहीं है डिसरप्ट करने का. आप क्या करो कि आप मतलब आपको मार्केट में एंट्री कैसे मिलेगी, आप प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस को लो प्राइस पे बेचना शुरू करो. लार्जर कंपनीज विद लार्ज मार्केट शेयर विल यूज इकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल टू क्रश ऑल ऑफ देयर कॉम्पिटिटर. अगर हमें अपने कॉम्पिटिटर को क्रश करना है तो हमें क्या करना होगा, हमें इकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल को यूज करना होगा. लार्जर प्रोडक्शन करो कम कॉस्ट पर. When they offer service at a lower cost, competitor will drop out because they cannot match the price. When they offer service at a lower cost, जब वो ऑफर करते हैं सर्विस को at a lower cost, competitor will drop out because they cannot match the price. If they try to match the set price, they will incur losses that will eventually drive them out of the market. The hypermarket model can operate both in a brick mortar model, a physical store, or the click model digitally, or even a hybrid of this two as illustrated below. So what is the hypermarket model? What will be the hypermarket model? There is no better way to disrupt. You can use the economies of scale for the same. When they offer service or cost at a lower cost, competitor will drop out, and because they cannot match the price, if they try to match the set price, they will incur. अगर फिर भी competitor हमारे से compete करना चाहते हैं तो they will be firstly तो they will be drop out. फिर भी वो करना चाहते हैं तो they will incur the loss, eventually drive them out of the market. And then the hypermarket model can operate both in the brick mortar model, that is a physical store, and the click model, that is a मतलब physical store में भी और digital store में भी, or even a hybrid of this too. तो सब में possible है. उसके बाद फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे कि ब्रिक मॉर्टर, जैसे कि डी मार्ट है. डी मार्ट इज समथिंग दैट इज दी फिजिकल मोड में. फिर क्लिक मोड में जैसे कि अमेजोन है, हाइब्रिड मोड, मोटर एंड क्लिक मॉडल दोनों. तो ब्रिक मॉर्टर क्लिक मतलब ऐसा, ठीक है. फिर आता है हमारा द एक्सेस ओवर ओनरशिप मॉडल. नाउ कम्स द एक्सेस ओवर ओनरशिप मॉडल. उसमें क्या आएगा, द एक्सेस ओवर ओनरशिप मॉडल में क्या होगा, फॉर डिकेड्स कंज्यूमर कुड रेंट प्राइमरली अपार्टमेंट्स, होटल रूम्स, ऑटोमोबाइल्स एंड रिक्रिएशनल इक्विपमेंट. द इंटरनेट upended this status quo by allowing us to gain access to almost any tool, item or service without having to own it. Because the internet had to reduce the friction of financial transaction by making consumers who want to borrow rather than own asset with owners who are willing to share as a part of collaborative consumption or share economy, internet enabled sharing and renting are efficient and economical. So the access over ownership model, what will be the access over ownership model? क्या होता है, for decades consumer could rent primarily apartments, hotel rooms, automobile, recreational equipment. वो क्या करते थे, they could rent. The internet updated this status quo by allowing us to gain access to almost any tool, item, or service without having to own it. Because the internet had to reduce the friction of financial transaction by making consumers who want to borrow rather than own asset with owners who are willing to share as a part of collaborative consumption or sharing economy. Internet enabled sharing and renting are efficient and economical. The access over ownership model provides temporary access to goods and services traditionally only available through purchase. Apps shop offering vehicle on rental service are perfect example of access over ownership model. Having accessing the car without owning it, accessing to vetting loans. The service ecosystem model. Then comes the service ecosystem model. By implementing this model, the company will offer different products but they will be integrated and customer will become accustomed by using one facet. This is a lock system in which the company limit customer option and thus eliminate competition. So what is the service ecosystem model? क्या होगा? By implementing this model, when you implement this model, the company will offer different product, but they will be integrated and customer will become accustomed to using one facet. This is a lock system in which the company limit customer option and thus eliminate the competition. Premium brands that offer product with differentiation employ this business model to which they draw customer into their ecosystem and keep them there. Then comes, there are so many models. Oh god. The experience model. What is the experience model? This is a business model in which company offer karegi unique, stylish, new and innovative product to those who can afford to pay for them. Matlab, this is for the premium class. To maintain its market leadership, the company must continually improve its existing product, introduce new ones to ensure no competitor can match the product, nobody can imitate their product it provides to its customer. This model disrupts by adding an experience component to a product or service that elevate its value to the customer. This makes it difficult for the customer to switch to competitor after using their product. For example, when a luxury car manufacturer files its buyer of exclusive model to a plant manufacturing site to have a personal fitting that ensures all internal parts are all positioned to absolutely match the uh, buyer's body. Luxury airline launches are another illustration that it's a value of experience beyond. So this is for the premium class, which comes under the experience model. Okay, on demand model. What is on demand model? By monetizing time, this model will disrupt. They will charge a premium for instant access to the company's product or service. They provide new value to customer by making service access easier and more convenient. This is something like on demand. जब मांगोगे demand तब by monetizing time, मतलब monetize कर रहे time को on demand जब मांगा था तो it is something like where your time is getting monetized. This model will disrupt. They will charge a premium for instant access to the company's product service. They provide new value to customer by making service access easier and more convenient. This adaptability creates a significant advantage for the organization. By utilizing digital technology, the company is able to provide new services and product to their customer. App-based riding and cab booking transport businesses have caused disruption in transportation sector using the business model. Similarly, online groceries and food ordering apps offer third party product with time and place convenience. Alright, उसके बाद आता है हमारा मॉडल रेलेवेंट टू सस्टेनेबिलिटी. तो हमारा मॉडल रेलेवेंट टू मतलब 3 मॉडल थे इसमें. जो हमारा बिजनेस मॉडल था, एक तो हाइपर डिसरप्टिव बिजनेस मॉडल, देन मॉडल जो कि रेलेवेंट है सस्टेनेबिलिटी, और थर्ड वाला हम अभी पढ़ेंगे. तो करेंटली वी आर रीडिंग दी मॉडल जो कि रेलेवेंट है सस्टेनेबिलिटी को लेके. कौन से मॉडल्स है जो कि रेलेवेंट है सस्टेनेबिलिटी को लेके? मॉडल्स जो कि रेलेवेंट है सस्टेनेबिलिटी को लेके, तो ये बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है सारे बिजनेस के लिए, फॉर एवरी बिजनेस टू सस्टेनेबल, कि वो क्या हो. It is very important for every business to be sustainable apart from being profitable. सिर्फ आपको प्रॉफिट ही नहीं कमाना है, आपको सस्टेनेबल भी, सस्टेनेबिलिटी भी को भी मेंटेन रहना है. हैज द बिजनेस मॉडल अडॉप्टेड मस्ट बी सस्टेनेबल वन. तो बिजनेस मॉडल जो भी अडॉप्ट हुए उन्हें कैसे रहने चाहिए? उन्हें सस्टेनेबल रहने चाहिए. In a generic sense, a business model that addresses the social and environmental perspective in addition to the economic perspective is sustainable. Moreover, if the value proposition of any business model possesses gain creators and pain relievers with positive social and environmental offering, them the business model is sustainable one. जैसे कि for example sociable है, bearable है, equitable है, sustainable, environmental, viable. सिर्फ प्रॉफिटेबल रहने से काम नहीं चलेगा, सस्टेनेबल भी रहने चाहिए. सस्टेनेबिलिटी के एस्पेक्ट क्या होते हैं और बिजनेस मॉडल क्या होता है? बहुत सारे न्यूमरस एस्पेक्ट है जो कि पर्टेन करते हैं दिस 3 ब्रॉड डायमेंशन से: एनवायरमेंटल, सोशल एंड इकोनॉमिक. और सस्टेनेबिलिटी डेटा सस्टेनेबल बिजनेस मॉडल में एंड मस्ट कंटेन to illustrate, जैसे कि philanthropy, ethics, inclusion, diversity, etc. are aspects relevant to the social dimension. Revenue and profitability, etc. are aspects of the economic dimension, whereas carbon footprint, depletion of natural resources, etc. are aspects of environmental dimension. For example, जैसे कि value creation की stakeholders क्या है? Suppliers, co-financers, distributors, revenue, logistics, and partners for positive impact. की एक्टिविटी जैसे कि प्रोसेसेस डेवलपमेंट टेक्नोलॉजी फ्रॉम अ सिस्टमैटिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, की रिसोर्स एंड कैपेबिलिटी में मटेरियल ह्यूमन फाइनेंशियल नेटवर्क इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर ब्रांड इमेज डेटा नॉलेज एक्सेट्रा। वैल्यू प्रपोजिशन प्रॉफिट जो कि सुपीरियर वैल्यू दैट इज ऑफर टू कस्टमर कंपेयर टू कॉम्पिटिटर। वैल्यू प्रपोजिशन में आता है पीपल प्लैनेट वैल्यू कैप्चर। पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट क्या है, कॉमन इंटरेस्ट टू सोसाइटी। पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट क्या है फॉर द एनवायरनमेंट के लिए, कॉस्ट स्ट्रक्चर फॉर स्टेक होल्डर इन द एंटायर सिस्टम, रेवेन्यू स्ट्रीम फॉर स्टेक होल्डर इन द एंटायर सिस्टम। कस्टमर रिलेशनशिप क्या होगी बिटवीन द कस्टमर एंड कंपनी। वैल्यू डिलीवरी कस्टमर सेगमेंट टारगेट ग्रुप्स दैट आर पार्ट ऑफ द ऑफर। चैनल्स टच पॉइंट विद कस्टमर इंक्लूडिंग हाउ रिट्रीव प्रोडक्ट्स एंड ऑल। उसके बाद द सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स अडॉप्टेड बाय द all the United Nation के जो members है state in 2015 state that वो क्या बोल रहे हैं कि that all the countries should promote करे prosperity while protecting the environment को protect करे social needs equality and employment opportunity combating climate change and preserving nature. This long-term sustainable business model incorporate the creation of monetary and non-monetary value for a diverse range of stakeholders. Sustainable business model are extremely beneficial होते हैं इंडस्ट्री के लिए। 4.0 a new stage of industrial maturity for product forms based on connectivity provided by the industrial internet of things in which company products and processes are interconnected integrated to provide greater value to customer and internal company process. Time Pencil suggests system theory identify 5 elements for sustainable business model, namely diversity of resource, people and investment, modularity of functional operation, openness to idea outside firm boundaries, slack resource and capability and resources, matching the cycle and rhythms of business and environment. Approaches care for developing a sustainable business model. Idil Giziloroi and Tuomi present the 9 different approaches used in developing business models that are relevant for creating greater sustainability. These are product service system are those in which the customer pays for the service provided by product rather than purchasing the product itself. As a result of, companies are responsible for the entire product life cycle, including repair, replacement, and disposal. Author also highlight the 8 PSS categories: product related services, advice and consultancy, product lease, product renting of sharing, product pooling, activity management outsourcing, pay per service unit, provision of functional results as suggested in Tucker in 2004. Then comes the open innovation is when a company collaborates with other organization, group of people or individual to generate and commercialize new ideas. This type of collaboration is specially suited to dealing with the complex interdependence that characterize the transition to a more sustainable built environment. Open innovation is innovating in a partnership with those outside your company by sharing the risk and rewards of the outcome and process. Peer-to-peer innovation is innovation that results from collaboration of loosely connected, widely dispersed individuals. Peer-to-peer network क्या होता है? What is peer-to-peer network? By sharing open source resources, distributed production capabilities without relying on market signals or top-down commands and hierarchical firm structures. What is the closed loop production is when the material used to make a product are recycled throughout the manufacturing process. The premise of circular model is minimizing or eliminating waste and maximize resource efficiency in production consumption system. It is frequently referred to as a cradle to cradle production or industrial symbiosis. Then comes that is the crowdfunding is a new source of funding for niche innovation and attracting social media attention. It frequently addresses issue of social and community development. Crowdfunding is typically facilitated via online platforms. Crowdfunding is also known as crowd financing and crowd investing is a process by which a party requests and obtains financial and other resources from a large number of people in order to complete a specific project. Then comes the share economy. Participatory sharing scheme provide timely access to resources allowing for more efficient use of otherwise idle resource. As an emerging and social movement facilitated by information and communication technology and online social media, the sharing economy offers some new business model with the potential for disruptive innovation. Then social enterprises and benefit corporation. What is the social enterprises and benefit corporation क्या होगा? through participation in certification schemes or under new corporate forms, social enterprises and benefit corporations become legally obligated to pursue social and environmental value in addition to financial shareholder value. उसके बाद आता है the concept of share value extend beyond traditional CSR, in which a company monitors and ensure active compliance with ethical standards and positive social norms. The gift economy make use of voluntary donation, such as pay what you want, and capitalization on social sustainability concerns. A gift economy is opposed to the commodification of resource and labor exchange through monetary transaction, arguing that it creates alienation and the illusion of separation from nature and other humans. New manufacturing paradigm. A gift economy is an extreme form of sharing economy. What is new manufacturing paradigm? Is it driven by new capabilities associated with additive manufacturing, 3D printing, new, new manufacturing paradigm, that is the 3D printing, and business model that aim to increase production efficiency, enable rapid prototyping, and thus allow for faster development and diffusion of new offerings and services. What is the concept inside quotient regarding the sustainable business model? Moving the economy as a whole towards sustainability necessitated other considerations, and firms should be guided by long-term economic vision. Another issue is that business success is still frequently measured against performance benchmark that without regard for sustainability and based upon assumption like competition and shareholder wealth primacy. Model जो कि relevant है to emerging national markets. Prior to considering business model that can be applied in case of emerging markets, let's take out what are emerging nation or emerging economies. So these are this one is the third part, if I am not wrong, that is models relevant for emerging national market. कौन से मॉडल्स है जो कि रेलेवेंट है फॉर नेशनल मार्केट? जो टर्म है इमर्जिंग मार्केट वाज ओरिजिनली कॉइंड हुआ था, ये कहाँ से स्टार्ट हो रहा है? मॉडल्स रेलेवेंट टू इमर्जिंग नेशनल मार्केट. Prior to considering business model that can be applied in case of emerging market, let's record what are emerging nations or emerging economies. Emerging markets or economies के the term emerging market was originally coined in 1981 by the World Bank economist Antoine van Agtmael in 2009. Dr. KV Ent defined an emerging market country as a society transitioning from a dictatorship to a free market oriented economy with increasing economic freedom, gradual integration with the global marketplace and with other members of the GM Global Emerging Market, an expanding middle class, improving standards of living, social stability and tolerance, as well as an increase in cooperation with multilateral institutions. In 2008, the Emerging Economy Report defined emerging economies as those regions of the world that are experiencing rapid information under condition of limited or partial industrialization. Zulin this proposed a pragmatic definition of emerging economies as distinguished from markets. An economy said to be an emerging economy displays the following characteristics. Income is intermediate. Triple P per capita income ranges between 10% and 75% of average EU per capita income. Catching up growth, it has experienced brisk economic growth for at least the last decade, narrowing the income gap with advanced economies. Institutional transformation and economic openings, that is during the same time period, it underwent profound institutional transformation that contributed to its deeper integration into the global economy. As a result, emerging economies appear to an unintended consequence of current globalization. What will be the importance of emerging market and strings attached to it? At the start of 2010s, more than 50 countries met this criteria, accounting for 60% of the world's population and 45% of its GDP. India and China, that together account for more than 35% of the world's populations, also fall into the category of emerging market. तो हम क्या बोल रहे हैं कि 60% of the world population and 45% of its GDP. India and China, that together account for more than 35% of the world population. 35% से ज़्यादा है इंडिया और चाइना की population, and that also the category of emerging market. Since this emerging market represent a substantial chunk of global consumption, there is a great market opportunity, potential market that is best suited for market extension strategy as per the ENSOF metrics, a strategic planning tool that provide a framework to help managers and marketeers devise strategies for future growth, especially in today's era of globalization. Therefore, business model of organization for their operation in such emerging market must be customized according to the generic characteristics and specific traits of such emerging market economies. To illustrate, in order to sell in India, considered to be the price sensitive market, an international player need to cut its cost substantially to make the product affordable. The price list of any retail food chain outlet in developed and emerging market can be compared. Even a comparison of the pricing of the global edition and the edition to the solid in the Indian or South Asian subcontinent by any international public house can be made. Simply saying, if a business firm desire to target emerging market, they either have to accept a very small profit or rethink their business model, build from scratch. In order to create and capture value in business, they have to act like startups, develop their business model from the very foundation to account for the pain and gain of their customer base in emerging markets. Students are advised to refer the case slide given at the back of the chapter as a part of the exercise to develop an understanding of the concept of its application. What are the characteristics of emerging national market relevant to the business model? Maybe यहाँ से कोई particular question आ जाए. What are the characteristics क्या हो सकती है emerging national market जो कि relevant है business model के लिए? In emerging market, global business model must evaluate and account for important market conditions such as influence that business organization exercise कर सकती है in addition to the business opportunity available to them in the host country, the emerging market, the known availability of quality resources, the prevailing use of unbranded products, etc. Hence, the foremost need is to evaluate what are the characteristics of emerging market that acquire customization response in the business model of a firm. The emerging market characteristics which is proposed by Jagdish and Snare include the socio-political governance. इसमें क्या आता है socio-political governance, the market heterogeneity, inadequate infrastructure, chronic shortage of resources and unbranded competition. The emerging market characteristics जो कि propose की थी जगदीश and स्नेथ ने, that include the socio-political governance, the market heterogeneity, inadequate infrastructure, chronic shortage of resources and the unbranded competition. तो इसमें क्या था socio-political governance, market heterogeneity. What comes under this emerging market characteristics which is proposed by Jagdish and this socio-political governance, then market heterogeneity, inadequate infrastructure, chronic shortage of resources and unbranded competition. Eddie Seagum this extended the list and suggested that apart from those stated earlier, the following are also important dimensions that characterize the market condition in emerging markets. Prevalence of the clientelistical exchange, information institutional flux, and the channel of distribution challenges. The prevalence of the clientelistic exchange, informational institutional flux, and the channels of distribution challenges. Student must know that both the authors specified above are professor of marketing. They suggest characteristics of emerging market brilliantly. The Adesi Gon Oedila made a successful attempt at connecting characters of the emerging market to business model, but we managers see suit in the case of business have to consider the relevance of these characters on your own while developing strategies, especially those related to cost and management thereof. Strategic response to new business model. What is the strategic responses to new business model? Creating a successful business model is essential for every business. हम क्या बोलते हैं, हमें create करना होता है एक successful business model, वो essential है सारे business के लिए, irrespective whether it is a new venture or a mature organization that is expanding into a new market or product line. Though each emerging business model has some specific underlying concerns that need to be addressed strategically, there are some generic aspects that are common to all or most emerging business models, namely the value namely the value proposition, the core of business model, basis of competition, the market segment, the type of disruption, the value chain structure, position in the value system, network, value-based strategy, value capture model in a business ecosystem, revenue generation, margin, competitive strategy, etc. To put in a simpler way, at least those change driver discussed under section A of this chapter that are root causes rather than effect need to be addressed strategically because such cause driver either individually or in any combination thereof lead to the evaluation of new business model, whereas the effect driver are responses in themselves through having a circular effect. If cause is managed efficiently, then become virtuous cycle, otherwise vicious cycle. Though subjective judgment involves generally digital technology, business ecosystem, including strategic partnership and collaboration, hyper competition, transformation and disruption are the cause of driver. Through subjective judgment में क्या generally involve होता है digital technology, business ecosystem, including the strategic partnership, collaboration, hyper competition, transformation, disruption are the causes of the drivers. Students are advised to note that at this point, the perspective of each business organization towards the change driver is different from its peer due to the difference in reason, value, culture, management style, availability of resource, age, life cycle phase. Hence, an ideal strategic response in a particular scenario may not remain ideal throughout. Therefore, the strategic response suggested below are only illustrative in nature. Strategies pertaining to digital technology and the advancement thereof. For startup, it is all about the innovation and disruption to create their place. Hence, essence of their business model can be focal to digital technology and advancement thereof. While for incumbent, it is about the balancing the act between how to use and optimize the existing product and service as well as market while striving for innovation, using technological advancement to ensure sustainable growth along with profitability. The life cycle phase through which an organization is passing through is a key consideration. Razorpay Software Private Limited was established in 2014 and attained its unicorn status later in 2020 में उसे unicorn status मिल गया. The core of its business model is innovation, fintech. It makes it payment solution provider and allow businesses to accept, process, disburse payment with its product suite. One may take the example of launch of 4G and vault-based telecommunication technology, which is innovation in itself. Value based strategy. What is a value capture model in a business ecosystem? Under heading two sections of section A of this book chapter, we already understood that the business ecosystem is a network of an organization such as suppliers, distributor, customer, competitor, government agency, and so on that are involved in the delivery of a specific product or service through both competition and corporation. We also acknowledge that networks are rapidly replacing traditional market that shift the focus of strategy from what the organization does better than its competitor to how its partnership and alliance will help all involved party do better. Therefore, an organization strategy is expected to dominate those aspects of the ecosystem that create significant customer value, generally referred to as a value-based strategy or value capture model. Now comes the strategy to capture value. What is the strategy to capture value? क्या होगा? जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का स्ट्रैटेजिक डिसीजन है वो सब्सटेंशियली अबाउट इन्वेस्टमेंट इन रिसोर्सेज कैपेबिलिटीज जो कि इन्फ्लुएंस करेगा द वैल्यू इट कैन कैप्चर द गाइडलाइंस फॉर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कि कैसे कैप्चर की जाएगी वैल्यू वाइल स्ट्राइविंग फॉर वैल्यू बेस्ड स्ट्रैटेजीज आर मेक द बेस्ट आउट ऑफ कस्टमर नीड स्पेशली द चेंजिंग वंस टू इलस्ट्रेट अ डायरेक्ट टू होम दैट इज डिश बेस्ड setup TV box service provide may offer a recording features and advertise this because it is a common that viewers may prefer to record the TV show or match and watch the same at some later at their comfort due to their change in lifestyle. FMCG industry also came up with many ready to eat product considering the change in lifestyle of the people. See the background सब कुछ black black दिख रहा है because it's the if then. So then comes the be the locus of USP. Be the reason for which customer buy the product. Be the reason. You become the reason that why the customer are the customer are willing to buy that marketed products. Be the reason to buy your product. Irrespective of fact wherein you fall on a large and wide value system, you must have reason, quality, brand, comfort for sale to the end consumer. The brand of processor manufacturer for laptops or gadget is usually written on a prominent place part of product which impacts and create difference in customer opinion regarding the purchase. Be an indispensable integrator. आपको क्या बना होना चाहिए from your customer or end customer or even system partners to capture value. It is preferable to be system integrator who is capable to redefine value chain system. Play Store from which users usually download the app are apt example of system integrator. Then strategic aspect of creating an ecosystem, entering into partnership and alliance. For creating and sustaining the competitive advantage for a long time, it is very essential to widen the scope of the value chain by entering into supply chain partnership, but forming lasting business relation has certain strategic implications such as flexibility and cooperation. It is very crucial to develop and maintain relationship once established with customers, supplier and other partners. This requires flexibility, cooperation, which is positively correlated with the importance of common objective and expected gain. Where cluster of communities that are coming together or formed together, regions or territory, regional, political, cooperation, harmony are critical factors. FTAs and alliance at governmental or ministerial level can be game changer. Enhance accountability since external party who may exit outside the core business boundaries are involved. All those who collaborate with the business firm must be considered stakeholders. This requires the business to redefine its strategy. Free, seamless flow of information. The communication must take place in a seamless manner among all the parties in real time and in a transparent manner. Some information may be confidential, trade secrets, which party are hesitate to disclose. This is a major reason why collaboration fail to deliver what they are capable or expected to be. Clarity is essential. Share economy, that is the clustering of firms, share resources. Collaboration lead to the contribution of resources to a common pool which will be controlled collectively. As the organization has access to control over the other resources, whereas strategic partners may exercise control over the organization's resources. As the organization shall strategically decide which resources are essential for their own core capabilities, reserving them, the rest can be contributed to the common pool. Then think of economies of then comes the part that is relating to the focus on a series. Think of the economies of scope apart from scale. Strategic alliance and collaboration can be vertical, can be horizontal or otherwise. It is not only the economies of scale but also the scope that is of strategic consideration. Focus कीजिए on series of short-term advantages in a case of hyper competition. In a highly competitive market, company frequently aggressively challenge their competitor not to maintain a competitive advantage but to maintain the value creation. Organizations strive for a series of short-term advantages based on market disruption. Once such disruption matures, the organization will shift to another disruption. Pen manufacturers keep on launching new models with either better grip, tip point, or nib design, material or ink technology, etc. to maintain their market share because the market for pen witnessed hyper competition. Most pen manufacturers first came with long writing pens, then focus on comfortable grip, then angular nibs, and finally rolling bold tips to liquid ink. New trend will replace this liquid ink as the market is hyper competitive and advantage sustained for a short period only because the competitors and rivals do copy. Those companies that fail to innovate constantly or a short interval may become irrelevant in the market. Hence, the company must foster a culture where budget make reasonable allocation for research and development activity. Lean startup structure shall be promoted. Each team work as a startup to drive common purpose. Collaboration for knowledge and resource sharing are encouraged. Everyone in the organization, irrespective of position or hierarchy, strives for innovation. Timing of shifting to the next disruption is critical to the commercial success of an organization. Change is essential to remain competitive. Such competitive equilibrium can be attained through the D Avenues 7 framework. What is D Avenues 7 framework? ये हमने पहले के चैप्टर में पढ़ा था. कहाँ पढ़ा था? Still I am not recalling. मतलब not in a position to recall the same कहाँ पढ़ा था, but पढ़ा तो था. Strategic response to transformation and disruption. Then there's, oh god, थोड़ा है but still थोड़ा ज़्यादा है. अब इतना पढ़ा है तो हम थोड़ा सा एफर्ट डालते हैं ताकि हम पूरा कंप्लीट कर ले दिस पार्ट. तो here comes the case that is the strategic response to transformation and disruption, because इस पार्ट से भी क्वेश्चन बन रहे हैं. तो कैसा स्ट्रैटेजिक रिस्पॉन्स होगा ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन एंड डिस्ट्रप्शन वाले केस में. वी डेवलप्ड एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन एंड डिस्ट्रप्शन. हमें ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन की अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, डिस्ट्रप्शन की अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, एज वेल एज द टाइप देयर ऑफ ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन के टाइप्स एंड डिस्ट्रप्शन के टाइप्स एंड ऑल. ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन एंड डिस्ट्रप्शन बी इट न्यू मार्केट और लो एंड इनोवेशन. ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन एंड डिस्ट्रप्शन हो सकता है न्यू मार्केट हो, लो एंड हो. इनोवेशन नीड टू बी रिस्पॉन्डेड बाय एवरी बिजनेस in order to ensure survival and maintain the status quo, market share, brand equity, etc. If established organization continue to pursue the same strategy, अगर established organization जो है वो continue करना चाहती है same strategy को, following the path of continuous improvement के path को फॉलो करना चाहती है इन अ फेज ऑफ इंडस्ट्री डिस्ट्रप्शन, देन दे बिकम वल्नरेबल एंड विल लूज देयर कॉम्पिटिटिव एडवांटेज. इफ एस्टेब्लिश ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कंटिन्यू टू परस्यू द सेम स्ट्रैटेजी, वो लगाती जाएगी, फॉलोइंग द पाथ ऑफ कंटिन्यूस इंप्रूवमेंट अचीव करती जाएगी, तो in the face of an industry disruption then they become vulnerable and may lose their competitive advantage, because market disruption changes the premise basis of competition based upon which value proposition is usually developed. For example, we can illustrate the same. हम इससे illustrate कर सकते हैं दो cellular mobile manufacturer who were market leader at once. जो कि मोबाइल मैन्युफैक्चरर मार्केट लीडर थे once but failed to respond to transformation. उन्होंने क्या किया, ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन नहीं किया. एंड डिसरप्शन कॉज्ड बाय अदर स्मार्टफोन मैन्युफैक्चरर, जिसकी वजह से उन्हें डिसरप्शन फेस करना पड़ा दूसरे स्मार्टफोन. इज द बेस्ट एग्जांपल इज नोकिया. वो एक टाइम मार्केट लीडर था बट उसने ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन नहीं किया और डिसरप्शन किया है, डिस्ट्रप्शन हुआ है बाय अदर caused by the other smartphone manufacturers के द्वारा. not only lost their leadership, सिर्फ उनकी leadership ही नहीं गई, but also lost market share and eventually disappear हो गए वो market से. this we witness in the case of television manufacturing companies as well as ये टीवी के केस में भी दिखता है, टेक्नोलॉजी बेस्ड प्रोडक्ट्स में ज़्यादा दिखता है. So in this section we will discuss the available set of strategy and consideration and their selection. Here comes the strategies. ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन एंड ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन नहीं किया, डिस्ट्रप्शन हुआ दूसरी कंपनीज की वजह से और मार्केट से आउट. Strategy. Organization have the following strategy in context of rolling out disruption, combat against or making responses to such disruption. Milking as a cash cow. Cash generation or harvest shall be the strategy regarding the vulnerable business due to disruption caused by other or such business fail to come up with the disruption and hyper competition. Winding up will be the last resort. Milking as cash cow. आपको क्या करना है, milking as a cash cow. It means cash generation और harvest shall be the strategy. यहाँ पे आप क्या करने की कोशिश करो, कैश जनरेट करने की कोशिश करो या फिर आप हार्वेस्ट करने की कोशिश करो या फिर जितना पॉसिबल है वहां से अपना सारा स्टेक निकालने की कोशिश करो. स्ट्रैटेजी रिगार्डिंग द वल्नरेबल बिजनेसेस ड्यू टू डिस्ट्रप्शंस caused by other or such businesses, it fails to come up with disruption in hyper competition. Winding up will be the last resort. Winding up जो होगा that will be the last resort. To illustrate, कैसे illustrate करेंगे हम, bottling business for soft cold drink, DVD rental, internet cafe, etc. How can we illustrate the same is for soft cold drinks. How can we illustrate the same, that is a bottling business for soft or cold drinks, bottling business for soft or cold drinks, DVD rentals, internet cafe, etc. उसके बाद इन्वेस्ट और काउंटर इन्वेस्ट. strive for disruption or respond it with incremental investment in resource and capability में इन्वेस्ट करना सीखिए. The internet service provider which use for fiber optical wires to offer volt for the very first time obviously made huge investment in wire network, made it difficult for their competitor to imitate. Blocking the path or creating the hurdle on their own. Innovator block the path for others through reserving intellectual property rights to commercially exploit their disruption, while peers create hurdles in launching the disruption. Ape-based riding and Cape passenger transport company created a disruption in transportation sector, but in some of the state cities you will find these apps operating effectively because local taxi unions are strong and united. They did not allow driver to enroll in this app. Resultantly, these apps based companies are not able to penetrate their counter disruption. This is an aggressive strategy where the response to disruption is another disruption. Largely players tend to have more resources than startups. That is why through this aggressive counter disruption, they rule out the original innovator disruption from the market or crush them to the lowest possible level or make their commercial value nil. Restrict presence and shift to focus on core. This includes rethinking about core capabilities and redefining the core strategy. Neither an aggressive response nor the concerned product line is completely closed so that complete solution can be offered. But focus is definitely shifted from that product line to the core product line to make the most of core capabilities. Some IT firms are dealing with all the segments, hardware, software, ITs, but some are making more per head profit by focusing on any one of these or any combination of this two of these. Then withdraw. उसके बाद the exit or surrender strategy wherein rather than combating the disruption, business decide to withdraw from the relevant segment or completely. Rather than losing all the value, they prefer to liquidate the value out of the asset they can realize, divert the realized value to other profitable businesses to keep their star product intact or convert question mark to stars. Then consideration while selection and crafting the strategy. This is our the last part we are reading here. Bye. Consideration while selecting and crafting the strategy. So it is for sure that disruption needs to be responded, not necessarily fully combating against it. In all the cases without any exception, but responses should not cause risk or threat the capability of organization to meet the expectation of its existing customer base. Hence, an organization while making a strategy to counter disruption may witness a paradox that must be resolved after considering the availability of resources with the organization or the source upon which it depends for resource may be customer and for investor and their expectations rather than considering the size of market segment to compete or not, because to a big firm a small segment may not seem lucrative. The decision shall be taken based upon the importance of segment to the product line in which the company is operating or intended to operate. Whether an organization is good at process function wherein disruption took place, because capability cannot necessarily be inherited, this can be acquired. Above consideration are equally important for the organization which is rolling out the disruption. In addition, they need to consider trade-off between first mover advantage and uncertainty, result into prediction rather than planning, discovery rather than forecasting. Disruption must be capable of exploiting commercial benefits. Then here comes the summary, which I think that we will read at our own level. Then this one, the MCQs अगर कुछ आया तो disruptive innovation can be classified in following categories. Disruption innovation कैसे classify किया जाता है? ये low end disruption and new market disruption. This is the answer. So here one, disruptive innovation can be classified हो सकता है, it may be the low end disruption and the new market disruption. Why it is the low end disruption and new market disruption? Because the Christianian explained that there are two types of disruptive innovation होते हैं, या तो low end हो गए या फिर new market. Low end disruption is when a company uses a low cost business model. Low end कब होंगे? जब company use करती है low cost business model to enter at the bottom of an existing market and claim a segment. New market disruption is when a company create a new segment in an existing market with a low cost version of product. Which of the following category of technological advancement best describe करते हैं installing passbook under kiosk at bank? That is the automation. इनमें से ऐसी कौन सी कैटेगरी है टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांसमेंट की जो कि बेस्ट डिस्क्राइब करता है इंस्टॉलिंग पासबुक अपडेट कियोस्क एट बैंक? इनमें से कौन सी ऐसी कैटेगरी है टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांसमेंट की जो कि आपको बेस्ट डिस्क्राइब करके बताएगी इंस्टॉलिंग पासबुक अपडेट कियोस्क एट बैंक? दैट इज द ऑटोमेशन. चेंज हो जाता है जब बिजनेस मॉडल ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांसमेंट की वजह से कैन बी क्लासिफाइड इनटू ऑटोमेशन, एक्सटेंशन और ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. ऑटोमेशन इज द यूज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी फॉर परफॉर्मिंग एनी फंक्शन or performed digitally which an earlier performed by human. Installing passbook updation kiosk is mere automation where installing ATM can be seen as transformation. आप इंस्टॉल करोगे ATM, that is transformation, पर इंस्टॉलेशन पासबुक अपडेशन kiosk वो एक mere automation है, और जबकि installation of ATM is a transformation. Which of the following category of technological advancement best describe करते हैं installing automated ATM teller machine को इंस्टॉल करना, हमने अभी पढ़ा एटीएम को इंस्टॉल करना है ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, पासबुक को अपडेट मतलब वो सारा प्रोसेस तो ऑटोमेशन है, और एटीएम को इंस्टॉल करना है ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन दैट अलाउ द बैंक कस्टमर टू विड्रॉ कैश, प्रिंट और मिनी स्टेटमेंट ट्रांजेक्शन एंड आउट ऑफ बैंकिंग एज वेल। ये जो पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन है ये भी आईसीआई के बीओएस एमसीक्यूज के अंदर है, और इसका जो पर्टिकुलर आंसर है वो है ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन। एटीएम को इंस्टॉल करना ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है, पासबुक वाले केसेस में उसको अपडेट और वो जो सिस्टम है वो ऑटोमेशन है। Change in business model on account of technological advancement can be classified into automation, extension। तीन कैटेगरी में क्लासिफाई होगा, या तो ऑटोमेशन होगा, या एक्सटेंशन होगा, ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन होगा। ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन में क्या होता है, डेट नॉट ओनली रिवैम्प्स द प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफर्स बट आल्सो प्रोसेस एंड कल्चर। इंस्टॉलिंग एटीएम कैन बी सीन एज ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन। ये सिर्फ क्या ही नहीं करती है, मतलब कि ये सिर्फ ऑफर नहीं करती है, मतलब कि ये Transformation is the use of tech that not only revamps the product or service that an organization offers। ये सिर्फ revamps ही नहीं करती है, बट ये process भी करती है, culture भी करती है। Install ATM can be transformation। और जबकि automation में क्या होता है, is a use of for performing any function जो कि earlier human perform करता था और अब कोई process के through हो रही है, तो वो automation है। और ये सिर्फ revamps ही नहीं करती है, बट ये offer करती है process and culture भी। तो ये something थोड़ा उसे मतलब एक्सपांड हम बोल सकते हैं। और एक और एक्सटेंशन है, वो तो अभी तक इसका कोई क्वेश्चन है। आइडेंटिफाई द ऑप्शन विद करेक्ट सीक्वेंस आउट ऑफ द गिवन। कैसे होता है, द करेक्ट आंसर इज सबसे पहले डिजाइन थिंकिंग, लीन स्टार्टअप, एजाइल, सिक्स सिग्मा। तो द करेक्ट सीक्वेंस इज डिजाइन थिंकिंग, DLAS, एस सबसे लास्ट में, जैसे कि एस लास्ट में, सिक्स सिग्मा, द डिजाइन थिंकिंग, लीन स्टार्टअप, एजाइल एंड सिक्स सिग्मा। जो पोस्ट इंडेशन ideation phase, design rethinking is a critical to check ensure product viability. The journey from design thinking to lean startup involves the development of minimal viable products or service, while the MVP is tested to make agile story journey advances to agile and further shift to Six Sigma, wherein the focus shift from product to process and the product become major। तो हम क्या बोलते हैं, ये कैसे द जर्नी फ्रॉम डिजाइन, पहले आप क्या करोगे, डिजाइन सोचोगे, फिर लीन स्टार्टअप करोगे, फिर डेवलपमेंट करोगे, मिनिमम वाइबल प्रोडक्ट सर्विस, मिनिमम वाइबल प्रोडक्ट टेस्ट किया जाएगा, मैप एजाइल स्टोरी जर्नी होगी। तो सबसे पहले डिजाइन थिंकिंग होगी, फिर लीन स्टार्टअप होगा, फिर एजाइल होगा, फिर सिक्स सिग्मा होगा, मतलब वो सारा मैच्योर हो जाएगा एंड ऑल सच थिंग। ग्रामरली इज एन अमेरिकन क्लाउड बेस्ड टाइपिंग असिस्टेंट। इट रिव्यूज स्पेलिंग, ग्रामर, पंक्चुएशन, क्लैरिटी, एंगेजमेंट एंड डिलीवरी मिस्टेक इन इंग्लिश टेक्स्ट, डिटेक्ट्स प्लेगरिज्म। ये प्लेगरिज्म भी डिटेक्ट करता है कि कहीं से कॉपी तो नहीं है, प्लेगरिज्म डिटेक्ट करता है एंड सजेस्ट करता है रिप्लेसमेंट फॉर द आइडेंटिफाइड एरर्स। ये अलाउ करता है प्लेजरिज्म मतलब कि अगर आपने कहीं से कॉपी पेस्ट कर दिया, उसका भी क्राइटेरिया होता है कितना परसेंट, 10% या फिर 10 से 40% या 40% से ऊपर या ऐसे। तो ये सारी चीज़ों को डिटेक्ट कर लेता है, सजेस्ट करता है रिप्लेसमेंट फॉर आइडेंटिफाइड एरर्स, अलाउ करता है यूजर्स टू कस्टमाइज करे वो अपने स्टाइल, टोन, कंटेक्स्ट, स्पेसिफिक लैंग्वेज। ये ऑफर करता है 2 प्लान्स फॉर इंडिविजुअल्स। फ्री फॉर इंडिविजुअल जो कि ऑफर करता है बेसिक राइटिंग सजेशन, टोन डिटेक्शन, ग्रामर, स्पेलिंग, पंक्चुएशन, कंसाइजनेस, टोन डिटेक्शन। प्रीमियम प्लान फॉर इंडिविजुअल जो कि ऑफर करता है क्लैरिटी, वोकेबुलरी, 10 इम्प्रूवमेंट, एवरीथिंग इन फ्री, फुल सेंटेंस, रीराइट्स, वर्ड चॉइस, 10 सजेस्ट एंड द साइटेशंस। ग्रामरली जो ग्रामरली है, बिजनेस रिलाई करता है विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग बिजनेस मॉडल, किस मॉडल पे वो रिलाई करता है, तो इनमें से वो कोई मॉडल नहीं, ना फ्री है, ना प्रीमियम है, ना सब्सक्रिप्शन, इनमें से कोई मॉडल नहीं है। मॉडल अडेप्टेड जो होगी ग्रामरली वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा प्रीमियम है, जब फ्री नहीं है, प्रीमियम नहीं है, सब्सक्रिप्शन इट्स दी प्रीमियम में कवर्ड है, जहाँ पे वो हाई वैल्यू देता है। फिर एसेंशियल सर्विस और प्रोडक्ट इज ऑफर्ड फ्री एंड फॉर प्रीमियम सर्विस, एसेंशियल को तो वो फ्री में ऑफर करेगा और प्रीमियम सर्विस को मोर क्वांटम यू हैव टू पे। यस, पेमेंट कैन बी फर्दर बेस्ड आइदर सब्सक्रिप्शन मॉडल और एज पर दी यूज मॉडल। उसके बाद तो यहाँ पे ये ख़त्म हो जाता है। इसके अलावा भी हम डिस्कस तो कर सकते हैं, बट ऑलरेडी ये वीडियो इतना लंबा जा रहा है। एक बार हम समरी डिस्कस करते हैं एंड वी विल एंड अप दिस वीडियो। उसके अलावा इसका जो फर्स्ट पार्ट है वो मैंने ऑलरेडी डिस्कस किया था, जिसमें डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी और वो जो सारे थे वो सारा पार्ट कवर था। उसके अलावा इसमें जो क्वेश्चन होंगे उसको हम डिस्कस कर लेंगे, ताकि हम सबका प्रिपेयर हो जाए फॉर बोथ द साइड। एक बार इसकी समरी भी डिस्कस कर ही लेते हैं, अगर हमने इतना यहाँ तक आए हैं तो। चेंजिंग बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट में फोर्स द बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन टू अडॉप्ट न्यू बिजनेस मॉडल। जो चेंज होता है बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट में, वो फोर्स करता है बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, जो भी चेंजेस होते हैं बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट में, वो फोर्स करता है एक बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को कि वो अडॉप्ट करे नए बिजनेस मॉडल को। जितने भी चेंजेस, मतलब बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट तो डायनामिक है, तो जो भी चेंजेस होते हैं वो फोर्स करता है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को कि आप अडॉप्ट कीजिए न्यू बिजनेस मॉडल्स को। द क्वांटम एंड फोर्स टू चेंज ड्राइवर्स कलेक्टिवली डिटरमाइन करते हैं डिग्री ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट में कितना डायनामिज्म आया, कितना चेंजेस आया। सम ऑफ दिस चेंज ड्राइवर्स आर कॉजेज वेयर एज सम अदर आर इफेक्ट। कुछ तो कॉज होंगे, कुछ तो कॉज होंगे और कुछ इफेक्ट्स होंगे। तो चेंज ड्राइवर इंक्लूड रेंज ऑफ की एलिमेंट्स इंक्लूडिंग इसमें हाइपर कंपटीशन, advancement in technology, especially digital space, disruption due to increasing focus on sustainability, stakeholder, innovation, incubation of ideas, etc. ये सारी चीजें होगी। डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी जो होती है वो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक है, ऑटोमेटेड टूल है, डिवाइस है, रिसोर्स है जो कि जनरेट करती है, स्टोर करती है, प्रोसेस करती है डेटा को। नेटवर्क और इंटरनेट इज अंडरलाइंग ऑल डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी और एडवांसमेंट। नेटवर्क और इंटरनेट जो है सब अंडरलाइंग डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी है, एडवांसमेंट है। टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांसमेंट जो है उसमें आता है इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स आता है, रोबोटिक्स आता है, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस आता है, ऑटोमेशन आता है, क्लाउड आता है, ऑटोनोमस व्हीकल आता है, 3D प्रिंटिंग आती है, डिजिटल ट्विन आता है, ऑगमेंटेड रियलिटी आती है, मोबाइल आता है, इंटरनेट आता है, ब्लॉकचेन आता है। तो टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांसमेंट में क्या आता है, इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स आता है, रोबोटिक्स आता है, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस आता है, ऑटोमेशन आता है, क्लाउड ऑटोनोमस व्हीकल आता है, 3D प्रिंटिंग आती है, डिजिटल ट्विन आती है, ऑगमेंटेड रियलिटी आती है, मोबाइल इंटरनेट आता है, ब्लॉकचेन आता है। चेंजेस इन बिजनेस मॉडल ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांसमेंट क्लासीफाई होते हैं ऑटोमेशन में, एक्सटेंशन में, ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन में। नेटवर्क बिजनेस इकोसिस्टम जो है रैपिडली रिप्लेस होती है ट्रेडिशनल मार्केट। ये शिफ्ट करती है necessitates new strategy wherein the basis of competitive advantage shift from what the organization does better than its competitor to how its partnership and alliance help all involved parties do better। ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को अंडरस्टैंड करना है अपने एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट को इन टर्म्स ऑफ बिजनेस इकोसिस्टम इन विच वेरियस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कोलैबोरेट cooperate to create value while also seeking to capture value for themselves। हाइपर कॉम्पिटिटिव मार्केट में कंपनी जो है एग्रेसिवली चैलेंज करती है अपने कॉम्पिटिटर नॉट टू सस्टेन कॉम्पिटिटिव एडवांटेज बट टू सस्टेन वैल्यू क्रिएशन स्ट्रेटेजी दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन must strive for a series of short term advantage relying upon market disruption। When such disruption matures, such organization will move to अनदर डिसरप्शन। इनोवेशन जो है वो इंट्रोड्यूस करता है बहुत सारे चेंज कॉम्पिटिटिव लैंडस्केप इन अ मार्केट रिजल्टिंग इन एन इंडस्ट्री ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन एंड डिसरप्शन। डिसरप्शन कैन बी लो एंड हो सकते हैं और मार्केट और न्यू मार्केट डिसरप्शन। डिसरप्शन दो टाइप्स के होते हैं, एक तो लो एंड होते हैं और न्यू मार्केट डिसरप्शन होते हैं। लीन स्टार्टअप हेल्प करता है एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को वो नेविगेट करे एक्सट्रीम अनसर्टेनिटीज बाय टेस्टिंग साइंटिफिक हाइपोथेसिस statistical assumptions based upon which strategic options are driven with the minimal viable product। Agile organization built होती है on a network of empowered teams that adhere करते हैं to high standards of alignment, accountability, expertise, transparency and collaboration। ये allow करता है to respond to the emergence of new competitor, rapid technological advancement and sudden shift in overall market conditions। जो बैटल होता है between every startup and the incumbent comes down to whether the startup get distribution before the incumbent gets innovation। जो इंट्राप्रीनियरिंग होती है वो एक रिवोल्यूशनरी सिस्टम है, स्पीडिंग अप इनोवेशन है विद इन द लार्ज कंपनीज बाय मेकिंग बेटर यूज ऑफ अवेलेबल और allocated resources with the use of entrepreneurial talent of intrapreneurial। A clear differentiator between incubators and hub is the direct contribution they make to startup creation and success। Incubators make startup creation and development their immediate goal। Cost reduction is one of the most frequently mentioned goals in supply chain management। Furthermore, in order to reduce costs, companies are increasingly focusing on their supply chain patterns, causing both supply and customer to strive for a new levels of competitiveness and profitability। एक बिजनेस मॉडल जो होता है वो एक्सप्लेन करता है कि कैसे बिजनेस वर्क कर रहा है, इकोनॉमिक लॉजिक क्या है उसके पीछे का। ये रिप्रेजेंट करता है, कम्युनिकेशन करता है कि कैसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्रिएट करेगा वैल्यू फॉर इटसेल्फ व्हाइल डिलीवरिंग द प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस फॉर इट्स कस्टमर। डिसरप्टिव बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट में जहाँ पे एवरीवन स्ट्राइव कर रहे हैं सस्टेनेबिलिटी के लिए, फोकस करें इमर्जिंग बिजनेस मार्केट के लिए, द जेनरिक बिजनेस मॉडल में फेल टू इम्प्रेस एज अ रिजल्ट न्यू बिजनेस मॉडल इमर्ज। freemium, subscription, pyramid, digital platform, ecosystem, experiences, learning among emerging business models. एक business model जो है वो address करता है social, environmental perspective in addition to economic perspective is sustainable. Approach क्या होती है develop करना sustainable model include product service system, open innovation, peer-to-peer innovation, closed loop production, crowdfunding, sharing economy, social enterprises, benefit corporation, the gift economy, and new manufacturing paradigm. Since this emerging market represents sustainable chunk of global consumption, hence a great market opportunity, potential market that is best suited for market extension strategy as per ENSOF metrics, a strategic planning tools that provides a framework to help manager and marketer devise strategy for future growth, especially in today's era of globalization. Emerging market characteristics जैसे कि socio-political governance, market heterogeneity, inadequate infrastructure, chronic shortage of resources, unbranded competition, prevalence of clean client clientelistic exchange, informal institutional flux, channels of distribution and challenges. उसके बाद आता है at least those change drivers of business environment dynamics that are root cause rather effects need to be addressed strategically because such cause driver either individually or in any combination thereof leads to evaluation of new business model, whereas effect driver are responses in themselves though they also have circular effect. If causes are managed efficiently, then become virtuous cycle as vicious circle. Digital technology, business ecosystem, including the strategic partnerships and collaboration, hyper competition and transformation and disruption are causing drivers. Alright, तो हमने more and less read किया है. आई मस्ट से रीड किया है, बहुत ज़्यादा समझा तो नहीं है बिकॉज हम वी आर रीडिंग फ्रॉम द स्टूडेंट पर्सपेक्टिव. हम क्विकली सारा रिकैप करें और जल्दी से जल्दी एलिजिबल हो फॉर दी टेस्ट, फॉर द एग्ज़ाम एंड थोड़ी बहुत अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो. हमें साथ के साथ रीड वाले टाइम स्लो रीडिंग करती हूँ सो दैट अंडरस्टैंडिंग भी साथ के साथ होती रहे. उसके अलावा वेदर इसमें न्यूमेरिकल्स है या नहीं है हम चेक कर रहे हैं करंटली तो अभी. this and this तो हम और देख लेंगे अगर इसमें कोई न्यूमेरिकल क्वेश्चन होगा तो हम उसे सॉल्व करेंगे. आई थिंक वैसे तो नहीं है बट स्टिल आई विल चेक इट वंस अगेन. और जब अगर सपोज कोई पार्ट छूट गया तो हम उसको कवर कर लेंगे बिकॉज हमने एक वीडियो पहले बनाई थी उसमें कवर किया था. 2 वीडियो ये हो गई. अब देखते हैं क्या कोई पार्ट छूट रहा है क्या. अगर छूट रहा है तो हम उसको कवर कर देंगे इन द नेक्स्ट वन. ऑलराइट.